That's why the Western media now are proudly showing off how many women and transgender soldiers are joining the Ukrainian army. Here's trans soldier Ashton Cirillo, who joined up with the Ukrainian army, was a war correspondent and said, I'm joining up with the Ukrainian military. There's all sorts of effusive articles written about Ashton Cirillo. Western media writing up big articles about this soldier and big front page stories about all the women that are joining up in Ukraine right now. The role Ukraine's women are playing a key role in the fight against Russia. I love they pick the pretty girl and they put some makeup on her or whatever. Trying to make her look as glamorous as possible in these roles. And then
it's worth remembering, though, that at least women had the choice. Men of fighting age could not leave Ukraine when fighting began. So they didn't have a choice. Women could at least take their kids and go. And so when we think about who was in the front line, who's left, there were plenty of men between what were the ages 35 and 60, I believe,
right,
in that range. That had
could trans women leave?
To go first.
I don't know.
I don't
That's
know.
A good question.
Interesting if you could gender ID out of the country.
Now I'm a woman. I know you're recruiting all these men and men have to do it. So guess what? I'm a woman. Hey, it works in Scotland. Maybe it'll work in Ukraine. I don't know. Meanwhile, here's more headlines. Fighting while female. They're so happy to be holding rocket launchers. How gender dynamics are shaping the war in Ukraine. All of these articles from USA Today to, the BBC to The Guardian. Mainstream media doing full propaganda about how great it is that Ukraine is using women. Watch.
They are new faces on the front lines of the war in Ukraine, female snipers. And while duty didn't call for them, they still loaded up and lined up. Our Inez de Lucatera sat down with one of them to discuss her passion for the battlefield and beyond.
Passion for the battlefield.
By now, she's gained a few nicknames. Punisher of Russians and Ukrainian Joan of Arc.
I like Jeanne d'Arc, history Jeanne d'Arc.
Yeah.
And a lot of people said that she was a ginger like me.
Okay. Eugenia Emerald has become somewhat of an icon in Ukraine, fighting on the front lines as a sniper, the only woman in her unit.
Yeah. So notice the propaganda there. But the real story is being...
Also, that seems incredibly unsafe, is putting on social media images of where you are.
Yeah, here I am on Instagram. Here's my unit. I'm a sniper.
Perfectly framed, too.
Right.
I mean, once... Clayton's brother-in-law is in NOAA Corps and had sent something that was like a whale or something, out on a ship. And Clayton shared it somehow, and we got in trouble for that. It was do not share. Because you can't... Why is that allowed?
Yeah,
These beauty shots of...
He was on a
as
ship,
bad as it is.
which is a branch of the military. Right, exactly.
It literally was
like
a dolphin. Go ahead.
How come we're not seeing on any of that footage of her actually firing a gun? Why is there there's no gunfire being heard? If it's so bad over there, where's all that?
No. And
she
then, of course, the other videos and photos that we've shown are women holding wooden guns, in the training and all the training montages. But of course, the real story is being hidden here. The Ukraine military is being paid by NATO and the United States to go out and grab men off the streets who are of fighting age. Young men, old men, like this guy going to the market to get food. He's handed a summons from soldiers who are out looking for men.
Что, не успел таки приехать, пойти на рынок и уже повестку вручили.
Yeah, so there's the summons in his hand. And these guys are paid by Western taxpayers. You are paying for these guys to have men be pulled off the streets and thrown into the meat